correlations and various other things. So we'll go through the unit content which we're supposed to learn. Okay, we'll start. Welcome everyone. You all know me and I know you. We'll start this new unit, which is our new subject, Unit 4, Introduction to Quantitative Method. What is meant by quantitative?
Number of products.
Brilliant, well done. It's quantitative mean numbers. So when we're looking quantitative, we are looking quantitative, it mean so quantitative is mean numericals, is number. So numbers are very. Do we need to learn numbers in business?
Sorry?
Do we need to learn the number in business? Yes, it's very important numbers, yes?
Yes.
Because we have to calculate the profit like we learn in our accounting finance. How much money we'll borrow, what interest we will pay, all these sort of things, and numbers are very important. So today we'll go through basic numbers. So that's all. So this unit, so first learning outcome, understand the rule of numeric, which we'll go through. Apply 4 rules of numeracy, like you learn about the Budmas, brackets and things as well. Multiplication, division. We'll go through express the number in standard form, multiply and divide the negative numbers. So that's all about your learning outcome 1, which is we'll go through understanding rule of numbers. Then the next lesson we'll go through compare numbers and approximate data, which will go through the data analysis. We'll go through the financial transactions and make and apply calculations. So we'll go through some calculations. Solve equations and using algebra method. We'll go through little bit algebra. We're not really doing pure math. We're just only learning for the sake of understanding numbers in terms of the business, and in a business how we can use these numbers. So that's all about which we'll go through. Solve the equation using the root of the logarithm, which we'll go through a bit log and equation, straight line, and we'll go through the chart, different chart which we use, the business, bar chart, histogram chart, and you supply the general rule and principle, how we can make the graph, plot, interpret mathematical graph of the business data. So what the graph is showing, which one is the highest value, lowest value, 360-degree pie chart, and all these, which we'll go through under learning outcome 4. Then under learning outcome 5, which is we'll go through be able to apply the statistics. So we'll go through some statistic tools which we normally use, like a correlation, regression, chi-square, probability. What are the chances of occurrence in a of anything, like share prices and those sort of things will increase or decrease. These will supposed to go through, and the probability using the normal distribution. So we're doing very basic in this unit because it's a level 4 course, and you just need to learn about the basic concept and some applications which we'll go through as well, some little calculation. So today learning outcome 1, we are going to discuss about the rule of numerical whole numbers, fraction and decimal. What is meant by whole numbers?
Whole number.
Yes, whole number.
Yes. Yes. Or
What is meant by fraction? Definitely you learn your GCSE level.
right.
We call, maybe your qualification called slightly different. What you call GCSE? You call GCSE?
Yeah.
Okay, so we learn maybe the fractions. Yes? What is the fractions, like a percentage out of total? How much is one third, one fourth? Yes? One half. So fraction. Decimal. So which will go through comparing the numbers, approximate data and the percentage. So we'll discuss about numbers and percentage, uh, approximating data using the rounding, significant figures, interpret, transpose, and evaluate. So which we'll go through more in during our next lesson. So today lesson we'll go through basic numbers. Any question? Any question? Daniel, you okay?
Yeah. No. No.
Okay, good. So first today we are looking and we are going to learn about okay, we are going to learn about understanding numbers, na- natural numbers, whole number, integral and rational. So that's we're going to learn first. Okay, rational numbers, numbers that can be expressed quotient of two integral a oblique b, where the a and b are integral and b is not zero. So we'll go through rational numbers in the next few slides. We'll go through some examples that make more sense. Integral, whole number and their opposite and zeros. Whole numbers like, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are whole numbers. And zero as well include integral, whole numbers and their opposite and zeros. Their opposite, yes. Zeros, 1, yes. 2 opposite 4. So these are whole numbers and their opposite. So we'll go through whole numbers, and then we have a okay, whole number. Then we have a natural numbers, the set of counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. These are neutral numbers, yes. So we can look around the natural are, those are the base numbers, which is the routine numbers. So any question? Which you already learned these in maths, so which we are going through. Okay, so we'll go through what you think this one. Which one is a neutral number, whole, integral, and rational? So, this is slide a question.
And zero.
Hello, hello, morning. Yes. Hello, hello, Malia. Hello.
Hello, sir.
You okay? Good afternoon. You okay?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. How's weather there? Good.
Sir, the weather has gotten quite pleasant, surprisingly.
How's good? You had yesterday quite rain, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Daniel is there as well. So we'll start. So today we are starting our new unit, which I just explained to. Okay, we have 5 learning outcomes. Is a basic math. I think so. You maybe know more than in few areas than me because normally I'm teaching more accounting and finance. Okay, excuse me. I mean, so but we are just the purpose of this unit is to learn about the basic interpretation of numbers, which normally we use in a business, and we have to be well good basic knowledge about these numbers. Okay, so we're going to learn about the apply the 4 rules of numeracy, express the standard form, and divide and negative positive numbers. What is meant by basic maths, introduction to quantitative method. That's the title of the unit number 4. And today we are doing first lesson, so we're going through very basic today lesson. So these slides, first we are looking the neutral numbers, whole numbers, integral and rational numbers. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so do you know what is meant by whole numbers?
Whole numbers, I think there's the starting from 0 to onwards.
Yes, well done. That's starting to. What about the first one?
They start from 1.
They start from 1. What about integral number?
Not so sure about integer numbers.
Mm-hmm. What about rational numbers?
Hmm. I think there are some numbers which could be divided by themselves or some other number. There's sort of
Yes.
this distinction between. I'm not so sure. I studied all of this stuff in my O levels, but it's all out of my mind now.
Oh, brilliant. This means because of course in especially O levels, you learn quite in details. So, okay, well done. Great. You're right. Rational numbers that can be expressed, yes, and can be divided with 2 integrals, yes.
Yeah.
So a slash b, so normally divided by b, so we can look around. Integrate the whole number, their opposite and zeros. Whole number, their opposite and zeros all come, under the integrate. And what about the whole numbers start from 0? Next neutral are numbers are those, we can set up the counting number 1, 2, which you very well mentioned. So next, we'll go through. What do you think? Which one is which number? 10 is a
Natural number, whole number,
and it's
and
all,
also an integer.
yes, because it can be divided by, yes, 5 times, yes. Okay, next.
It's a natural number, also whole number, also an integer. I'm
Yes,
actually not so sure about the definition of this rational number. I'm still confused about its distinction. Like, how do we distinct it from other forms of number?
numbers that can be expressed.
Yeah.
What is this word next by Q10? Okay. This is meant by Any number we can divide,
The answer has to be in whole number form, or it could be in decimals too.
If we can divide, it's a whole numbers, yes. Like result obtained by dividing one quantity by other quantity. It could be false as a decimal as well, right?
Okay.
So like here, 12 divided by 3, yes,
Yeah.
and we'll get 4. It could be decimal as well. Okay. Uh, Really, we're not going to use a lot, but it's just good to be different. Okay. Next, 2.7.
2.7.
It's not false really. Natural numbers, whole numbers, yes. Then it could be integral as sorry, which one? Rational numbers, because it can be divided.
So why can't it be a natural or whole number since it is in the range of 0 onwards or 1 onwards?
Normally it falls according to this slide. Sorry, I'm just out of maths. So it's the numbers like the set of counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, the counting number. Okay.
And the whole number start 0 and yes.
Okay.
So that's why it's not false. Daniel, you okay?
Yeah. Proceed.
Okay, good. And next 3.5 is exactly the same as well, yes?
Yeah.
These are just basic. So integral counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, their opposite minus 1, 2, yes? And the zeros, and number that are the same distance from 0 are opposite. Sorry, we don't have a page number of the booklet. We're not using the booklet. So we have negative integral, positive, yes? Zeros, which normally we use. Okay, if we look this next, comparing and ordering, can order like positive and the negative, yes, on the scale. These numbers right have a greater value and the left normally have a less value. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, next we're looking the rest numbers. Mention further. Okay, numbers expressed as a fractions. Understand the rational numbers. Numbers expressed as a fraction are decimal. Just as there are positive and negative integers, there are also positive and negative fraction and decimal. Greater magnitude of negative numbers, the less values because of the yes phrase because it's normally at the left on the scale. How we can order and compare the rest. Sometimes it's help to write the fraction as a decimal with different whole numbers. You can compare the whole numbers and depending on the which one is a so which we'll go through now some examples. Okay, rational numbers fraction with the same whole numbers. That is give basic number patterns. Okay, let's this one 17 plus minus 29, which we already learned, yes.
Yeah.
Even negative numbers, what we'll do? Yes, it can't be positive, it will be negative, yes. So in this case, because negative number is the higher in this case, yes. Subtracting the number, the sign of the answer is positive or negative depending on the sign of the added with the greater, which is a greater value. So is the greater value is 29, so sign will be 29. Daniel, any question? Okay, these are -7, -7, -6, -6, opposite -6. So 3 -4, 3 minus -4, -6, -6, -6, -6, negative numbers. Can we? So these we can add them as well together. We'll go through next few slides. Any question? These
No,
are
sir.
just this we just today lesson is very basic. We just will go through the mean and some other numbers. So to now we have learned these. Okay. Okay. Next, positive and negative signs, like we just mentioned. To integral A is the same as the adding the opposite of the second numbers. So to the first number, we'll see here. So -10 minus and in bracket -5. So minus minus will be supposed to be plus, yes.
Yes.
Transform the subtraction into addition and change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. So -10 plus and -5. So what will be? Change the sign to the second number. So now -10 plus 5. Our answer will be 10 plus 5 is -5 because our negative value is highest, yes. So sign will in this case -7 -7. So plus, and then we have a minus, so will be -14 because minus and plus will be minus, then minus minus will be plus, but the sign will stay the negative sign. -15 minus and -5. So -15 plus 5. So what will be? Now in this case now -10. 20 minus 10. Sorry, 22 plus and -10 equal to 12. So is it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are just a calculation. You know the basic rule which you have learned really either GCSE, A level or metric. So these normally we use in business sometime, is addition, subtraction, signs how we can change, that quantitative unit to give the basic knowledge. Okay, to all we have to remember to like the sign add and give you answer the same sign, yes. To unlike sign subtract, give you answer the sign of the greater number to use. Then multiply the product of two, so which will go through. So can we multiply numbers as well? Minus minus.
Yes.
What will be like -6 -6?
Plus 36.
Sorry. So sign will be changed. Okay. So next we looking now. Okay. Next is what is the difference between fraction, decimals, and we have next area of discussion. Okay. How we can calculate the percentage, we all know.
Yeah.
Really, we don't know. I'll show you how you can find the adding figures. Okay. So we already know the whole numbers. What is fractions then? What is meant by fraction? Hello? Yes, we know the def. Yes, what is meant by fractions?
So in this, hello?
Yes, yes.
So it represents a part of whole number in the form of like numerator, denominator.
Yes. We can say, this is a quarter of, yes. 3/4, yes. Or 1/2, yes. We can as well, the is it fractions, yes. And decimal, we can, where we can supposed to be put the decimals about, all about this we need to be like a point, yes. So which will go through some activity during our next lesson. So today I'm just showing you the basic stuff because I picked this unit. Raman just told me yesterday, so I just prepare quick my slides. So we'll go through next our area, which is all based on the numbers as well. We know the mean. What is meant by mean?
Means the average.
Yes, average. So how we can calculate average?
Sum divided by the total sum divided by the quantity. Like for example, we will add all of the amounts that are available, and then we'll
Hmm.
divide by the number of those amounts. For example, if there are like 4 apples, and they have different prices. For example, one is for £5, or another one is for 10, and the other one is for 15, and the other one is for 20. So we'll add all this sum and divide by 4, since the quantity is 4. So that's how we calculate the average.
Yeah, well done. So that's all. What about the median?
Median is, I think, it's the number that comes right in the middle of the
Well done.
range.
Great, that's good. And Daniel, what is meant by mode? Hello?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Yes, mode is most occurrence, yes. Very favorite value, yes. Most time, the things happen. Range, what is meant by range then?
So it's basically the difference between the lowest and the highest number.
Well done, great. So lowest and highest value. So I'll discuss with you and we'll calculate as well. High and low method is quite popular in business and quantitative research. We need to learn about. Okay, so mean is average. The mean is computed by adding all the numbers you very well mentioned in the data together and dividing by the number of element contained in the data cell. Okay, like in this case, data set 2593547. So what we'll do, how many numbers we have? 7 numbers there. So we'll add them all, their values, and then we divide on 7. So we are getting average 5 now. So which is quite popular to use in a business world, like what price was, what is the average price of the month, average price of the product, average price of the shares. So these are the things will carry on. These are carry on coming, and we have to really carry on learning these. Any question?
No.
Okay, so next we looking median. Median, we're not going through more in detail in statistic. Even median can be further, yes, further sub values we can calculate, but the median of the data is the set of dependent, whether the number of element in the data set in odd or even. First, reorder the data set from the smallest to the largest. Make of high or low values until you reach the middle. If two middles, and add them and divide them by 2. Just like we not really will see this example. We have odd numbers of elements. So if we need to put them in order, reorder them, and then we'll see there are 2 numbers coming now. Yes. So median is 5, middle values. So we have in this case middle value is 5. Yes. We have total 7 numbers. So middle one is coming 5. Now in this case, we arrange the data. So which one is the middle value?
4 and 5 both. We'll take them, we'll add them, divide by 2.
So two values on the right and the left, and the middle will be 2 left. Yes. If
Yeah.
7, then it's fine. If 7 numbers, so we have now equal numbers. So we can middle 2 numbers, we add them together, divided by 2. So its middle value will be 4.5. So 4.5 will be our median. The most, so most for the data set is the element that occur the most often. It is not uncommon for the data set to have more than one mode. So that happen when 2 or more elements occur with the equal frequency in data set. So mode 2593547. So which one is mode now? Which number is most? Yes. So the number 5 is most. So we are using number 5 in this case. Okay, next. Next we have mode. First is a uni mode, other is a pi mode, because 2 value is coming. 2 and 5 is occurrence most of the times. Any question? Okay, well then, so next we have range. Range for the data set is the difference between the largest value, smallest value contained in the data set. First, reorder the data set from the smallest to the largest, and then subtract the first element from the last element. So we can find the range as well. Any question?
No.
So range we have a data in 3, 5, 4, 7, so we can order them as well. So range is following 2 and 5. So we can calculate, yes, is range is 7 in this case, high value, high. Normally we use the value high and lowest method. Anybody knows what is meant by fixed cost and variable cost?
Yes, sir. Fixed cost is the cost that does not change with the level of production,
Okay, and what
whereas
about,
the variable cost changes with the level of production.
okay, good. So during our next lesson, I'll pick some question about high-low method where we are using this range, a high-low method, to to calculate our how much is the fixed cost we have at the high number of unit, and how much we have a fixed cost at the low number. Fixed cost stay the fixed, but we can calculate the variable cost per unit, and then we can, if we know the total cost, how we can differentiate how much we have a fixed, how much we have a variable cost by using the high-low method, and which is based on the same rules, which I'll go through during next lesson with you as well. Okay. Anybody study correlation before? Correlation?
Not in detail, just a touch of it.
So we'll do proper lesson on it. So I'll just give you a bit demonstration today. What is meant by correlation? So we know the basic percentage and thing decimals, which we'll try some business scenario question during our next lesson. So at least we have a good idea what is meant by how we can use these qualitative and quantitative. Okay, quantitative mean numbers and qualitative is mean information which we are using in business as well. So when we do research, so with qualitative and quantitative data we normally use. Okay, so next we're looking the correlation. Correlation means the relationship between two things. How much is correlate? Think about the weather. It's such a nice weather, hot weather. What we expect the ice cream sales. Yes.
Right.
Yes, is a correlation with the weather, but the some product don't have a correlation. Yes, like buying new tally. So sometimes it's not a weather link. Yes, but in some cases, in some product could be a, seasonal link as well, seasonal correlations. Okay, we use correlation to establish the strength of the relationship between two variables. Marketing and sales. If we are spending a lot of money on marketing, like advertising, mean we are expecting our sales will be higher as well. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the sales is not increasing by the advertising or lot of brochure we publish, we arrange lot of trade shows, whatever we did, the sales not increasing, it means there is no correlation. Yes. So volume of purchase and the price. Is there any, if you buy more things, we are getting cheaper price or not?
Yes.
There is a correlation. And find how much is a correlation. We have a positive correlation, negative correlation, yes, or no correlation. So sales of a product and the price could be linked. Yes, if the price drops, sales could increase. Salaries and age. Is there any correlation? salaries and age. Higher age people, they are earning more, or youngsters earning more? Because with the age, experience come, and normally experienced people earning more salary than young age. But it's in few cases, maybe youngsters earning millions. That depends, yes. But there is a correlation normally age and salaries. Labor turnover and unemployment rate. Accident and health and safety training. Health and safety training, we are giving accident. Our accidents should be reduced. So like, if the people have a training more in countries, so health about the driving training, so it means the accident will be reduced. Age and absentees, which age group is more absent from work, so we can find the correlation. So these are correlation is quite useful to use, and we'll do in our next lesson. What is meant by scattered diagram? I think so you have learned during A levels as well, O levels.
No, sir, not this thing.
Okay, now. Okay, scattered diagram, a way of representing the set of two variables data by the scattered of the plots. One variable plotted on the x-axis and other is y. Whenever we are making graphs on
Yeah. This thing we have studied by another name, not by scatter diagrams.
Okay, we can call dependent independent variables.
Mm-hmm.
That's more common we use instead of scattered diagram. Scattered diagram is how scattered we are from x to y. There is like a okay. When we look here, temperature and number of ice cream sales is a relationship. Yes, the positive correlation. When we increase temperatures, increasing the number of ice cream is okay. Sometime we have a negative correlation. Number of week in top 14, the number of singles sold. So sort of the thing. Sometimes we don't have a correlation in a way, or could be a negative correlation, more weeks and less sales. And no correlation. This is also called scattered, yes. Scattered diagram. There is a no everything, it's not a relationship with each other. Does it make sense? Number of house numbers and IQ levels. So that's sometimes it's not make sense. We learn about the linear. What is meant by linear? Linear means the relationship like a correlation. Yes, we draw the line, how much is close to the line, something, how much we can say, okay, the average is there. Yes, we can draw the line, and something is more or closer. Some is more linear, yes. Some is less, so which we'll go through as well. Okay, so these are okay. Next, that's really all about. We'll go through some how we can interpret the formulas during our next lesson. I'll pick some formulas so you will use. Okay, what about the next logarithm? You already maybe learn log 1, yes, log 2, log 3, the simple log. We're not really going through in mathematics side, more like whatever the cheetah, cos, yes, those sort of things you already learn in your, but we are going through some wages and discount. Okay, have you learned about anybody heard about settlement discount and trade discount?
Yes, sir.
Trade discount.
Trade discount is basically when you buy huge quantities of goods and you get the discount for you get the discount for buying in the huge quantities. Such discount, it's normally not recorded in the accounts.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so when you normally with that discount, we not record it at the time of the purchase, we getting bulk discount. Yes, we don't
Yeah.
need to record in our transaction in a book of accounts. So that's we call discount as well. And settlement, what is meant by settlement discount?
So I think it's almost as same as cash discount, because I haven't heard the term settlement discount. I've come across the term cash discount and pay discount.
Um,
It might be related to the time period in which we make the payment.
brilliant. Yes, that's all about, I'll say, okay, you pay me time within 10 days, I'll give you 2% discount.
Yeah.
So that's called settlement discount. If you settle early, we will give you discount. One we use, the word is quite popular in different part of the world. It's called prompt payment discount. Prompt payment discount. So if you pay early, you will get discount. So that's called prompt payment discount. Okay. Have you learned about the compound interest? What is meant by compound?
Compound interest is it's the collective interest that we charge. Like it changes with time.
Yes, if somebody will say, okay, we'll pay you 10% interest, yes, every year, like a bank. So 10%, and but you can only draw the money after 5 years. So
Mm-hmm.
10%, whatever the money you're supposed to withdraw, that's a reinvestment. Yes, the interest, if on the 10,000, 10% mean how much? Sorry, on 1,000, 10% mean
100.
100. So if I start withdrawing my 100 out of the bank, yes, so it means bank has 1,100 pound in my account. So bank will give me next year interest on 1,100 pound. Yes,
Yeah.
will be. Oh, is carry on adding it. Yes,
Yeah.
we'll learn more when we'll do more question about compounding interest. What about the depreciation?
It's the wearing down of the assets. So decrease in the value of assets over the time period or certain causes.
Yes, so decrease the value of the asset, and we can calculate by using different method of depreciation. So which will go through like a straight line method throughout the period we have a same depreciation. So we call straight line method, or we call reducing balance method. The balance we are calculating by reducing the balance. Okay. Any question?
No?
Have you learned about the linear and simultaneous equation in maths?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So that's I'll go through very basic with you then. Okay, so this then graphs I will go through with you during and qualitative, quantitative, and I'll show you Google form how we can draw the data if we are going and doing research, how we can create the questionnaire, and how we can input the data by using Excel spreadsheet. So at least, so all these we can basically calculate all these, the things by using Excel spreadsheet as well. So any question? So today just we learn very basic numbers. So that's we covered LO1. Learning outcome 1. So when you're writing your assignment, so you can explain, you can add the example 2, because all your learning outcome 1 is understanding the rules. Yes.
Sir, I have a confusion in assignment brief.
Which one?
Assignment brief. The next
Okay.
page.
Yes.
So it says the tasks, they need to be in a time constraint assessment. So is it going to be like a time frame test, or we could do it?
Sorry, which one you're talking about?
So the task one.
LO1?
Basically, the whole of the assignment. Yeah, it says it is a time constraint assessment. It's not the usual assignment that we have been doing in this course.
To pass is their L1 to assessment criteria is a coursework. So
No,
coursework.
sir, I'm talking about the assignment brief. This is not the assignment brief. It's in the other.
Oh yes, sorry. So just one second, I'll open my assignment. These are the learning criteria. So just one second. Let's make time constraint normally is it's mean exam. So that's
Mm-hmm.
not the time constraint only will be applicable, or we can set activities online that could be time constraint. Okay, so that we can record it, that we say, okay, this quiz you have to do within how many minutes, I suppose. Yes. Quantitative marking sheet should be this. Sorry, because different awarding body is slightly different. Like we have other awarding body which is normally. Okay, yes. Above, so you're about to enter in the workplace and the consultant, and as a part of assessment and exercise, given the problem to the answer. Yes, this one you're talking about?
Yes, sir. It says in the statement under delivery and submission, one copy of your answers to all questions in the time constraint assessment.
Okay. That's fine. We can keep time so that we can give you activities. So address these and solve these, all in a time constraint. Yeah.
So, sir, the word count for specifically this assignment, I don't think it can exceed 2,500 or maybe even reach 2,500. The required answers over here, they just in form of numbers or digits.
Mm, you're absolutely right, because numericals can't be. That's a bit, unfortunate. Sometimes awarding bodies give to someone just, to write things, and this is not appropriate. Near to me, I can't write 2,500 words. Maybe then I'll write the story and interpret